harmonizing with nature. With over 4 decades of changing lives, your self-discovery archaeologist, get ready to be the best of you with your host, Beverly Zimet.
Welcome to the Beverly Zimet Show, where being the best you has just gotten easier. My guest today is Ninon. She is calling in from Las Vegas, Nevada. Gosh, we met several years ago on your show, and we've been friends ever since. Ninon, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Beverly. It's great to be here. This is a surprise.
I know.
After all these years.
That's right. Gosh, it's been 5-6 years maybe?
Boy, whatever it is, it's a long time. But neither one of us have got old.
No, that's right. We don't do that. No,
we don't get old.
No. We just stay young at heart and young in mind and young in body and everything else, right?
I love it. There goes the phone, you see?
That's what happens when you're busy entrepreneurs, right?
I don't know. I thought I turned it off, but obviously I haven't.
Surprise. We have had some interesting technology stuff going on today. You know, I guess we can say maybe the message we got is so powerful and impactful that the world didn't want us to get it out.
I guess so. I don't know. Our Zooms went zooming out. Well, I went zooming somewhere. I don't know.
You did go zooming. You were you were zoomed on the other side, on the dark side of the planet.
There you go.
Then you returned and you were lopsided, and then we got you straightened out, and here we are.
There you go.
Oh, life, you know what? It's interesting. I believe there's a message in here. Life can be upside down, sideways, and sometimes it leaves you in the dark. And what are you going to do to bring yourself back around to move forward in life if something like that happens to you? Can you share with the audience what you would do when your life does that?
Well, I have a strange life. I'm one of these very positive thinkers. And I decided, I think it was in 2004, I decided to get rid of, my husband had just passed away, so I was in a little bit of a different place. And also my father passed away. My husband passed away, 2 weeks later my father passed away. So it's a little bit of a strange place I was in. And this was probably about 6 months later. And I'm sitting in my office in Mulholland Drive. I lived up on Mulholland. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so I'm going to have all these guys after me and all this stuff. Now, do I want to marry for money? Do I want to marry for love? What do I want? No, I want to marry for love. Because I did the first time but made a lot of money. So money was not what I was after or what I needed, even if I didn't have it.
Right.
Secondly, my greatest thing was to get rid of all the negative people in my life. I thought, I don't want anybody negative around me. I've always been a very positive person. I definitely see the glass half full, not half empty.
Right.
And I just, I think when you get into a position that becomes, or is becoming negative, I think you need to think about it. Sit back and don't sort of, oh, this happens and if that happens and that, because part of your life, you end up wondering and worried about what's going to happen. And do you know something? It never happens. So why waste your time on negative stuff? So your question, I don't get myself into those places because I know there is a way out. I know there is an answer. And how did you get in there in the first place? So how did you allow that to happen to you? So if that's what you allowed it to happen to, now get out of it, because if you shouldn't allow that to happen, then I don't. Life is too short, life is too positive, and there's so much out there to do that I think 90% of our body and our mind, we don't get it out there of who we are and what we are. We end up, I don't know, doing crazy, negative, happy, whatever things.
Yeah.
Make that determination of your life of it's not what everybody else is and what everybody else is doing, it's what you're doing.
Exactly.
Once you get into the place and you get into that sort of comfort zone of who am I, what am I, and I always say the greatest place to find that out is go into your bedroom.
Okay.
Go to your bedroom, because your bedroom is supposed to be. So if it's not, make it that way. That's where the tranquility of your body is. And the reason being, because your bedroom is where your bed is.
Right.
Where your bed is, actually, you get into bed or you sit on the, whatever you do, hopefully you get into bed, you lie down, go to sleep. That's what you're supposed to do. You've got to go to sleep in a very comfortable, relaxed way. And the majority of people don't. They go around, they worry about this, they worry about that. It's not going to make any difference to what's happening and what's going on.
Right.
Your bedroom is your place where you've got, once you walk into that door, if you have a door there, I don't know. But once you walk into that door in your bedroom, that's where you relieve. That's where you release yourself of everything, and your tranquility steps in, and you can actually manage things. And when you lie down, you can actually look up with your eyes open, your eyes closed, whatever you want, and you start realizing, who am I?
Right.
At night. And during the daytime, I've said this to many, many women have this problem more than men. I think our men hide it more than women. Is if it's during the day, just go into your bed and sit on your bed. And even if you say, well, I've got nothing to think of, I've got nothing, but just sit there and relax and just sit there. And slowly your whole mind and body become very tranquil and very easy. And it's like, it's like a floating. It's like you're floating.
Right.
And it's like you're feeling, oh, I just got rid of it all. And you go out, you're not angry, you're relieved, you can sort your problem out, and there should be no problems, because everybody has problems every single day.
And
So
it's how you perceive them, it's what you choose to do, which direction to take them. And that's a great analogy, Ninon. That's a really great analogy. And, so many people go into the bedroom and they take anger in there, and they have, they have all this other stuff. But it's a place where your body actually goes into its regeneration and refreshing.
Supposed to.
Right. And so to be able to keep that as a sanctuary.
Yes.
Right. So that
it is a sanctuary. It is a place. You lay down there. You're there for anywhere from, I'm going to say, 5 hours to 10 hours. It depends on your sleeping habits.
Right.
Some people feel bad if they only sleep 5 hours. Do not feel bad if you sleep 5 hours, because that's all you need. So don't worry about it. Some people sleep 10 hours and they say, oh, I sleep so long. But that's because they need it. Your body tells you what you need. Right.
Pay attention to it.
And if you want to change it, then stay in bed. If you only sleep 5 hours, stay in bed, or I always make a cup of tea if that happens to me, but it very rarely does, so I don't do that. But make a cup of tea, and they say, oh, you can't have tea. You're gonna it's gonna keep you awake. No, it doesn't. Tea relaxes you. So totally, and it's just regular black tea I actually have with milk in it, because I'm English, but that relaxes you. But if you are not sleeping, just get up and make a moment, and then go back to bed, and guarantee you'll go back to sleep for a couple of hours if that's what you need. But maybe you don't need it.
Exactly. You don't know until you try it, right?
No, don't sort of don't stress yourself out because I should have slept 8 hours. Well, no, you don't have to sleep 8 hours. Some sleep 6, some sleep 5.
You mentioned a word here. Listen to your body. And I think a lot of us, we get so busy being busy. We start listening to all the chatter out there and all the information. Each and every one of us is unique to who we are. Just like a snowflake or a raindrop. We're all unique.
We're all different.
That's right. And
listen to yourself.
Listen to what your body's telling you. It knows best. And again, that's one of the things I think that this whole COVID thing did, that isolated us, gave us an opportunity to spend a lot of time with me, myself, and I that hadn't been there before. And the realizations of, who really am I? Where is your identity? What is your purpose?
Did you like this COVID thing? Were you okay with it?
Well, I work from home anyway, so I spent a lot of time at home. To me, it was nothing but the same thing, right?
Me too. Well, I was the same way. That's why I was asking you, because it didn't bother me one single bit.
No, I actually, my business just started like taking off like crazy because I do a lot at home. I do a lot through the internet and
Yes.
incorporate a lot of different avenues where we're actually starting a business in the virtual reality little avatar world where a lot of that has started to transpire, and where we've taken it with education and with business now has been really, really impactful. And more
Okay.
people are coming to us and saying, how do you do this thing? You know, they want to know more about it because, again, there's all the static out there. Oh, it's going to come again and it's going to be worse. And it's like, oh my God.
Well, if that doesn't come, something else is going to come again. So
That's
deal
right.
with it. Come on,
You
deal
know,
with it.
it's like move into the flow and go beyond. If it's
Well, this is-
uncomfortable, move out of it and find a place that's comfortable. Get
But-
resourceful. Don't concern yourself about that predictable little comfort zone. Get out there in the excitement, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like this racial thing going on. I obviously am not one of those people because I've done so many shows and because that's not my feeling of life.
Yeah, mine either. You know,
But
it has nothing to do with color.
But
Yeah.
my greatest saying about it is, look, everybody is born, and I don't think there is a single person in this entire world that asks to be born in a certain country, a certain color, and a certain language, and a certain whatever. None of us we just come out, we have to deal with it. So I always say, deal with yourself. It doesn't matter what color you are, what language you speak, what country you come from, because I've lived in many countries, so for me it's a little different. But none of us choose. We have to deal with ourselves and understand how to deal with you. What do you want? Do you want to be clean? Do you want to not clean your house? Do you want to go swimming? Do you want to run? Do you want to stay home? That's up to you what you make it. You are in charge of who you are. You're in charge of this body.
Exactly.
I'm in charge. Whatever happens, if I want to put a foot forward, I better move it.
Yeah, because it ain't gonna happen without it.
If I want to move somewhere, I better move this foot. If I don't want to move, I'll sit here forever. You know, so you are. So I think this whole thing with all this racism and all this stuff is absolutely, totally, 100% ridiculous, because that is what the world is. The world is full of all different people, and we have to. You know, we don't have to accept them all, but we can accept who we want to accept.
Right.
But I think we have to take charge of who we are.
Well, that responsibility, that self-responsibility, right? It starts here. And
I have a responsibility of what comes out of this mouth.
That's exactly right. All your actions, your activities, what goes on up here, what comes on out here, what you pay attention to, how you interpret. It's how you communicate on all levels of your senses, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
and if you live in peace and you perform in peace, you're going to receive peace, right?
Yep.
And if you
Absolutely.
if you think in anger, you respond in anger, you live in anger, what are you going to get?
You're going to get anger. You're going to get people around you that are angry,
That's
because you
right.
mix with, you always mix with who you are and what you are. So if you're an angry person, or whatever you are, if you're an alcoholic or you like drinking, you're going to find somebody that drinks with you.
Yeah,
You're
and
gonna
it's that magnetic personality, right?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, all thought is magnetic. It's where you are, and if you want to change,
Oh,
it
funny, I was
starts
just going to say that.
here.
Yeah.
It starts here, right?
Yeah.
And again, get rid of the blame game. Take responsibility. If you want the buck to stop here because, oh, the poor me, the victim, my childhood
we all
did
do
this
that.
and all that, it's like, seriously? Okay, now that you spilled your guts on that, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to wallow in it, or are you going to
Yes.
change it? Because if you don't change it, guess what? The
Well,
generation you produce is going to do the same thing.
Yeah, only you can change it. And nobody likes change. I happen to love change. I love anything changing.
So do I.
I like the difference of life and the change of life. And
That's
the
what makes it
reaction.
exciting and
Yeah,
adventurous, right?
Yes, it does. The adventures make it very, very
And it
very
keeps you
exciting.
young.
But yes, and also if your phone's not ringing, then it's up to you to make it ring.
Yeah.
If your computers and you're not getting enough likes, you're not getting enough whatever you're not getting, it's up to you. So life is totally one, and we don't, as you said earlier, you've got to take responsibility of who you are.
Right.
And I think that's very, very important. And, we all like to do the blame game. I personally don't, because I take responsibility. If it's not going right, that's because I'm not doing it right.
Yeah, I'm doing something that I should be doing
I'm
because
doing
it's
something
not right
wrong.
for me, right? And
Yes.
so, yeah, we make our own right and wrongs. We make our own truths and falses because of our perception, our belief system, the database of information we have. And when your database of information continuously changes, your
Yeah.
beliefs are going to change, your truths are going to change. You need to learn how to flow and go with it. But if you
Yes.
want to carry the old baggage with you, that's your choice too. And when you talk
Well, you can do anything you want with it. It's your body. You
That's
can do
right.
anything
It's-
you want. If you
it's-
want to, be angry, be angry. If you want to, you want a guy, you want a boyfriend, then go and get one. If you want, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It's all choice. We have free will. You know,
And love yourself, but you've got to love yourself. You truly
Yes.
need to, because that's all you've got.
well, you know, and a lot of people I think don't realize this too, because whatever you do to the self, however much you love yourself or like yourself or appreciate yourself or whatever the case is, or hate yourself or get angry at yourself, it doesn't matter what side of the positive, negative influence you're on, right?
Yes.
Whatever you give to yourself is what you give out there, and you cannot give something out there that you don't give in here or more of it. So if you don't have your cup full, you're not going to be an expression of fullness out there either.
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all. And don't be afraid to change things. Don't be afraid to, especially women. Don't be afraid to go in the stock market. Go into it. Find out about it. Even if you don't know, we have no excuse anymore not to know anything, because all you have to do is go into Google and how does this work, and how does this happen, and what do I say here, and what do I do here, and how do I? So you have no excuse anymore.
Well, and if Google
Google's
doesn't
great.
give you the answer, go to YouTube, right?
Yeah, go to YouTube. But the greatest thing about that is that you don't embarrass yourself, because it's you and the computer. Well, the computer's not going to go around
That's
chit-chatting about you and saying how bad you are. Computer's going to solve your problem.
That is so true. That is so true.
To solve
Yeah.
your problem. So you really have kind of have no excuses anymore to not
Right.
to not fulfill your life. But don't be afraid. Everybody has something within them, and a lot of the majority of people don't even know or don't even try. But even try something that you think, oh, I could never do that. It's like I wrote a book with another girl one time. I would never be a writer. I'm not the greatest speller in the world, and and I wrote a book with this girl, and I never thought I'd do that. It just happened, and can you do this? And I said, of course, I'll help you. And we did it together, and it was really quite enjoyable. But it was something that I never thought I would do.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
so I'm a sonnet writer. I also write sonnets. I never thought I'd ever be a sonnet writer. I thought that's all up to Shakespeare, and he's sort of buried, gone on. He's pushing daisies up somewhere.
Somewheres. Yeah.
Somewhere. But so there's try. Just go out there and do it, because
Just do it, because again, sometimes we work on that fear, and one thing I like about the avatar world is it opens up doors, and it opens up a freedom, because instead of people, because if you have that fear of speaking in front of a group or whatever, it kind of takes that barrier down. If you're afraid people are looking at you, are going to question how you look, is your makeup right, is your hair right, is your clothes right, all this kind of stuff.
Doesn't matter.
No, you get in the little avatar world and you can really be you, because
Yes.
nobody knows what you look like or whatever, so there's a lot of these barriers that drop. And
Absolutely.
the mental community has been using virtual reality to overcome phobias and fears and anxieties and different things, the PTSDs, a lot
Yes.
here over the last 5 or 6 years. And it's
Yes.
becoming more and more relevant to things like that. So working in those two avenues, and especially now, because we're still in this distancing thing. Well, there is no social distancing when you're in the avatar world. And the psyche, and this is the key thing, Ninon, it's the psyche that says people need people. We need to have that connection. Where we're talking here is one thing, but we don't get the psychic connection as when you're in the avatar world, because you got a body next to you. And again, there's no distinguish between races or anything, right? So you are now in that appearance, and your psyche says, there is someone next to me. I am connected to someone because I'm talking with them, I'm looking at them, I'm involved with them,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that gives a whole different perception of everything that goes on. And now more than ever, it's a world that is necessary to go beyond some of these mental issues that are starting to be created from the separation, the isolation, the fears. It gives a space of freedom, because in there you can create anything you want. You can take your friends with you. You can make new friends. You can travel in there like there's no tomorrow. It's the imagination comes alive in the virtual reality world. And so being a part of that is amazing. And what we're doing here to really capitalize on that, to help others out there, whether it's in business and they're working to get new business, or whether they're looking to create, an event where they can celebrate with their employees and reward them with different things, whether it's a family gathering, whether you want to take a vacation, there's a freedom in there that really opens you up to something that's familiar but exciting on a different avenue, and really start to put the psyche back into place where it needs to go, because people need people.
Yes. The only thing I would say while you're talking, when you use the word psyche, I think people get a little bit afraid. I'm psychotic, I'm this, I'm that, or something else. And I always think that's like quite a little bit of a dangerous word to use.
Well, okay.
But at the same time, it does get to what it's getting to your point. But some people, they get psyched out about things like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of the mindset. We could change that word from psyche to mindset. To clarity of mindset.
More gentler on people's brains and minds. But getting back to this COVID thing, and because of the virus and the whole bit, there's a lot of good that's come out of it. And one is the environment. I mean, when you look
gosh, the pollution that's down.
The pollution is amazing. So don't think people aren't looking at that, and people are saying, well, hang on a second, we're all at home and we're calling it locked up. Which is really a very harsh word, but I call it locked up. I'm locked up, but I'm joking. I really am joking, because I'm home always anyway, and but I always go out. But I go out by myself. I'm in my car, so I'm not going to get any virus or anything. But I think it's also done a lot of good with families. I think families got attached. Right. I think people start cooking again. They're starting realizing that they can have dinner at home, and how much nicer it is and how great it is, rather than always going to restaurants. Now the problem is the back of that is now we don't need as many restaurants, so now they don't have a business. But there are too many restaurants anyway, so there's too many out there. I eat at home a tremendous amount, because that's how I was brought up. Right. But I think there's a lot of good has come out of this, and sometimes I look at it and I think, oh, did this really happen on purpose? Are we supposed to sort of realize that the world is much better now, the environment and everything, and pollution? You can actually, you look at China and you look at what it was before and what it is now.
Well, just look at the cloud over Vegas. I'm in Denver, the cloud that used to be over Vegas. I mean,
everything that we have here, I can actually look from the M Hotel. I can look right into Vegas, and it's like
and actually see it, right?
There's not this sort of brown thing floating, or this smoke thing floating around.
Exactly, and then if you turn and look towards California, you don't see the gray cloud coming in.
No, there you go. So I'm kind of trying to get the good of it, and of course, the Peppermill Lounge, where I do my show, Vegas Lab with Ninon.
Right.
They called me back last week and asked me if I would come back. So that was like, oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, heck yes, I'm on my way.
I was so excited when they said that. So I did my first show last week, and I do it every Tuesday. So I'm doing a show today. I'll be down at the Peppermill, and I'll be interviewing 3 or 4 people.
Yay! Round of applause for Nina.
I think I'm one of the only people on the strip that's got a show going. Nobody else is.
That's right. Yeah. Well, see, you were always a pioneer, right? The show must go on.
But I have been there 4.5 years. I did my stint. I've been there over 4.5 years. It'll be 5 years in October. I'll be there.
That's amazing. Yes, that's quite an accomplishment. That's awesome. It is,
especially in Vegas, because Vegas things don't last, and they come and go. It's the entertainment business, the music business. It's different. It's a totally different life there.
Yeah.
And now you're starting to see the casinos are opening up, but it's going to be very slow.
Well,
you
yeah,
have to
because
understand.
the airfares and the air flights. There's not that many flights going from one city to the next either.
Well, when they go to the airport, they're with people. They get on the plane, they're with people. They get off the plane, they're with people. They get in,
Right.
a bus, taxi, whatever, they're with people. They get into the hotel, they're with people. So I think people are getting a little bit worried about being with people. So I think that everyone's going to be a little cautious, and they're saying, well, look, I've been at home a couple of months now. Let's leave it for another month, and I think they're going to kind of hang in there. People are, and as everybody is saying, the camping industry is going to be very, very big this year in America. A lot of people are going to stay in America. They're not going to be traveling. They're going to stay here.
Yeah, but well, they
They're
haven't
going to,
opened up
they,
overseas flights,
yeah,
so
they get their little trailer or whatever they're going to get, their RV, whatever it is, and off they go with their family. And I think it's going to be a little bit more attached together. I think it's just
right.
a different way of life.
Well,
It's actually
and
going back to
again,
the old life, actually.
and there's something to be said about that. There really is something to be said
Oh
about
yes,
that
yeah.
because, again, I think we got so far off track with everything. And you look at nature. Nature knows how to bring itself back into harmony. Whether it's with tornadoes or hurricanes, tsunamis, fires, you name it, it has to create some kind of a balance so that it
Yes.
can continue to survive. And
Well,
when
you're
you
right, but look at all the pollution. The pollution now is gone, so
Yeah.
now
So
the
was
natural
this
life can now
nature's
grow.
yeah, was it nature's way of saying, okay,
Well,
you guys aren't paying attention, man. I'm gonna really slap you with something so you wake
well,
up,
you know,
right?
I think we're all thinking something like that. We read the back of the Bible and we read about what's going to happen, all these different things,
Right.
that we're going to reorganize and Jesus coming back or going or whatever's happening. Everybody has their own thought. But this is actually, when you think about it, because it is the world, it's not just America, it's
Right.
the
It's
entire
yeah,
world.
it's the
So
entire world, and
when you
that's
think
what's
of
mind-boggling.
that, yeah, it is mind-boggling because you think it's only me. And you think it's only, I think it's only Vegas. Well, it's not only
Right.
Vegas, it's the whole of America. Okay, so it's the whole of America, it's the whole of the world.
Right.
So I think it's kind of, looks like it's like a readjustment of the world. So
It really is. I with my
we're all
show,
clean. We're all,
I,
we're all cleaning it.
we're all cleaning up. We're all cleaning house. To be able to connect, because I connect globally, and I've spoken with a lot of people from South Africa, actually several from Australia, a lot of them from the UK, even from Canada. I've had Hawaii, I've had Japan. So I've had them from a lot of different areas.
Yes,
And you
of
know
course.
what? Every single person
Yeah.
says the same identical thing.
The readjustment of the world. And I'm looking at
So
it like that.
we are not that
I'm older.
different.
I'm older, so I know what it was like before. I know what it was like I know what Los Angeles was like. I lived there for many years. And
Yeah.
I know what it was like when there wasn't all the traffic. And there's traffic. Now you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. It's all polluted and it's all expensive and everybody's on top of it and everybody's complaining.
Right.
They're stuck in the traffic, the pollution, they can't drive, the houses are expensive. And I said, well, then why are you there? Go somewhere. So I just think this, and I'm not saying I like it, but because of the people that passed away. But also I have another story, another thought on that too. So that's another thing.
Save that one for another show,
That's for
right?
another show.
Oh gosh, we could
Passing away.
continue here forever and ever because we both come from the same era. We are
Yes.
not that far apart, right? And again, I'm 45, okay?
Okay, I know. Yeah, we're not that far apart. I know that you're from America and I'm from England, and they really are different.
There's a lot of difference and a lot of
But they're the
similarities.
same.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
The whole world is exactly the same. If you look at the whole world, they either pay rent, pay a mortgage, pay a gas bill, pay electric bill,
That's
send
right.
kids to school, they have a car, they don't have a car, they have a bicycle. The whole world is exactly the same
Yeah.
all over. It's just a different way of how we decorate it and how we talk and how we put it together.
Exactly.
It's basically the same.
It's the same thing, a different shuffle. Yeah.
And we have experienced, every single one in all over the world has experienced exactly the same thing. There is no difference. We've got people that haven't got sick. We've got people that stay in their homes. We've got people that got sick and got well. We've got people that sort of, on the brink. And then we have people that passed away, unfortunately, But a lot of them had other problems.
Other issues and
too,
stuff,
Issues, but not all of them. So, but it's like sort of,
Well, it's part of the
animals.
it's a part of the ecosystem as well. You know, I mean, people
there you
die
go.
every day, people are born every day, people get sick, people get better. That has never changed. It has never changed, you know.
Some younger, some
It's-
older, some not.
That's
They're
right.
all, you know, you never know. I don't know why I'm still here, but I believe God still wants me here. I'm doing something
You got a
right.
message to get out there on that show and on my show, right? You know,
Yes,
and
yeah.
again, it is part of that whole freedom thing, you know, where you are. You know,
Yes.
if you learn to live your life
The
every
mind.
single
It's
day.
how you do up here. This
Yes.
is all it is. It's
Yes.
what to, this is the whole thing, guys out there, guys,
Yeah,
girls,
this
boys,
mindset
children.
up here, the
It's
6 inches.
all the mind. It's how you think. It's how you cross the road. It's how you sit down. It's how you eat. It's all from up here. Everything's up here.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. It's like sometimes, you know, when you interrupt people, and it's that your thought is faster than what comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes when you interrupt somebody, it's not on purpose. It's because the thought, you're out there so fast that's why you interrupt people sometimes. But you know, then that's all to do with the mind. So don't educate your mind. That's all I can say.
That's right.
Educate your
That's
mind,
right. And
enjoy
really,
your mind.
really pay attention to your thoughts. When you
What do you
think your
want?
thought and speak your thoughts are totally different, right?
Yeah, but also it's what you want. Just please do. It's so simple and it's so easy, and it's not embarrassing to you because everybody wants something different. And what difference does that make?
That's right. It's honoring. When you can learn to honor the other person for who and what they are,
Respect
they are
them.
going to honor and respect, right? They
Yeah,
go side
respect.
by side, you
Yes.
know. So if you want honor and respect, you must
You have to give it.
honor and
You have
respect, right?
Yes.
And that's what you're going to attract.
Like a conversation isn't an argument, and everybody says, "Oh, you're arguing." I said, "No, I'm just talking. I'm just giving you my opinion. Can I not give my opinion?" And it's opinion. You have to respect each other, and I think if people start doing that more,
And communication,
I think,
because that opens up communication.
and I think parents need to teach their children to understand that a little bit more. My
Well,
belief.
yeah, you know, and now there's more time to spend with them, you know, because you had children raising children, you know,
Yeah.
when
Yes.
they're all staying in daycare centers and stuff, you know, you have the latchkey kids taking care of the millenniums and everything else, you know, so all of these things, you got kids taking care of kids because it's two parents or single family, you know, it's crazy. So
Yeah.
it really is a total adjustment, and so it's see the good in all. Leave behind the old baggage, move
Yes.
forward, live every day
The old
and every
baggage is going
moment.
to do you no good. What happened yesterday happened yesterday. It's not going to happen
You can't
again.
change it. You
Some
can't
things
change
you
it. We
want to
talk
happen
about
again,
change.
you
Change
can't.
is going with or without you.
Yes,
Change is
it
going
is.
with or without you. So
It's
you
gonna
make the
move.
choice. If you live back here, that future is going to look just like what's behind you, right?
Yeah.
So if you
It's
want
always
to,
going to be back there. You're always going to
yeah.
be back there. Yeah.
so start
I
living
think one
from
thing
here.
one thing I'd like to say regarding women, be proud that you're a woman. Don't think because you're a woman you can't be a CEO or you can't be a pilot or you can't be all these things. But you don't have to put down men or try to be a man as of a
Right.
woman. I think a woman is the most beautiful thing in the entire world. All women are absolutely beautiful. All of them have got something different going on. I know that men get on better than women and women. Women, a little catty. If a woman has a boyfriend, I guarantee her girlfriends won't be around for a little while. I guarantee that. They don't want to lose the guy. This is my guy, and I'm not bringing him around yet. But I think women, please be women, and don't let anything inhibit you as of being a woman, and don't let
Exactly.
anything stop you as going to where you need to go. But don't try to take on the role of a man, because a man is a man and a woman is a woman, and we're two very beautiful different things. Men are beautiful, not all of them. Women are beautiful, but not all of them. So, you know, we're all the same. We're all out there. So just sit back a little bit and don't knock somebody or put somebody down. Put yourself ahead.
That's
never
right.
works.
Be
Never
better.
works.
That's what the show is all about. You know, it's being better every single day because there's room for improvement. And
Well,
when
there's room for everybody, because we're all different. I mean, I'm
We
not
are.
like you,
We
but we
are.
are we're the same. But I'm not like you, and I'm not going to step on your toes. We're going to enhance each other, and you know,
That's
you're on
right.
my show, I'm on your show, and we help each other. That's what the world is all about. Your opinion is a little bit different to my opinion. My opinion is different to your opinion. That's just how it works. But that's why you have conversations. That's why you
That's
have,
right.
That's why you have that's why you have your show.
Yeah, when you don't take that conversation personal, you start to use these two ears, like you gave two to listen, right?
Yeah.
Let that brain start activating, and then start speaking, and start to really get to know who that person is, what their chemistry is, and their belief system, and honor that, and then mesh with it and flow with the go, and
Absolutely.
life changes.
But don't forget what did God give you? He gave you 2 ears, he gave you 2 eyes, he gave you a double nostril, he gave you 2 brains, but he only gave you 1 mouth.
That's right.
So when you use it, listening is better, but when you use it, let the other people talk as well. So
Yep.
that's my message. But anyway, women be women out there. Enjoy yourselves and love yourselves.
Perfect. That is awesome information. Nina, I know you got another show to run to, which is yours, right? Which is awesome. I want to thank you so much for being here. It's been an honor. We'll have to try this again and get you on the show, and we'll talk a few more things.
Next time, hopefully my video won't be upside down or sideways.
You know what? But it's a great lesson. When
But it worked.
When life turns you upside down, when life puts you in the dark, it's like, okay, step back, take a deep breath, be consistent.
But don't give up.
And that's right. And don't give up. And you will get out of the dark. You'll put yourself straight up, and you'll be moving forward even better, right? It just gives you that opportunity to take a breath and say, okay, I must have been going down the wrong path or something. What do I need to do? Oh, yeah, okay, let's start changing these things and go.
That's it. You got it. Well, it's been wonderful with you. I loved it amazingly. You're doing very well, and you're an amazing woman.
Thank you. That it takes one to know one.
There you go.
So it's time to go out there, for everyone to go out there, be that best you that you can be, because Ninon and we are always going to be the best we that we can be. Thank you for watching the show, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.
Take care. Bye-bye.
What?